talk, and of course, the objective is to tell you this time about our car designer's career, because this is exactly what many people are asking me, and so I decided to make this design talk today to talk to you about this. A lot of people tell me, but please tell me, how long do you work at in your company, and how long do you make sketches, and how long you work on cars and stuff like that. And in reality, there are a lot of things that happen for any designers that starts working into the design company, whether it's a big design company, like it is in my case, a global company, or if it's a smaller company, like, for example, sort of design consultancy suppliers, or if somebody it's involved with the freelancing activity. So, what is important to understand is that to get that job that everybody wants to get. I mean, all the people that are very passionate about car design, you must have an astonishing portfolio, okay, an amazing one, because as we said last time, there is such a high competition about getting car designers jobs that are not many. Okay, in some period of the year, they are really few, and in some other period of the year, maybe there might be more opportunities, more options, but in general, this is a rare business, so rare opportunity to get a job. But anyway, what is exactly a car designer career? So, good evening to everybody. I'm reading you, okay? On the right on my screen, I can see there is Rocco Venezia. Then we have Hyman, Tom, Anish. Hey, Anish, ciao. Despaches, the aficionados are there. That's very interesting. That's very nice. Thank you for being back. Um, Rocco, Luciano Bove, can I send a drawing that of car? You know what? Don't give me your email here in chat, Rocco. Just go on my Instagram profile. On my page, there is email. Just click, and that's connected to my email. So you can send me your images, whatever, from there, and I can check out whatever you have. Okay, let's do that way. So, Debajit, yes, here there are also all my students, because you don't know, probably some of you don't know, but I have my online course, sketching course students. They are present. Ciao. Very nice that you guys came back. Yesterday we were sketching. Maybe you saw some of the pictures on Instagram. That's cool. Okay, so when you are a young designer, okay, because you just came out of school, how do you feel? I'll tell you how I felt. I was so much in love with the fact that I was entering, getting in the Fiat Design Center, which was the first company in which I worked, and I made all my, I would say, my solid, strong experience as a designer and also young design manager. I was so happy that I was not thinking really how this whole experience would have developed in the near future and in the future to come, in the years to come. I was obsessed, concentrated on the fact that I was simply a designer. Let me make just a test for a second, guys. Sorry, I want to see if I can hear my voice in my. If I can hear my voice, I don't know if I can hear my voice. No, I can't. I guess I have to open up. Okay, just give me 1 second. Okay, sorry. I am always a little messy because I need to to listen myself to make sure that everything is fine with the audio. I'm still learning, huh? I'm still learning. Okay, I think in 1 second I will be. Yes. Okay, I'm fine. I'm fine. Everything's fine. Uh, okay, so so what is really happening when you start working? Of course, at the beginning you don't have the experience. That's normal. And the thing is that you don't want to. Uh, how can I say? You want to be. Um, you feel that you want to be ready. But one thing I can suggest you not to do, don't stress, because any young designer will be involved inside a design team with people that have more experience, with a team leader, with a design manager. There will be a design director that will be, of course, very nice and very kind, especially at the beginning at the beginning of the experience, welcoming the new designer, and you will have the opportunity for several years to start working, very much, a lot, on different type of projects. And at the very beginning, this will be just a testing, testing you, testing your real skills, your real creativity, and trying to understand how you are developing yourself with the new knowledge that you are absorbing, working at being at work, and also how you start behaving within your team, the people that are around you, and stuff like that. So, in reality, there are people that will be looking at you in a very discreet way, okay? Do you contact online class for sketching now? Do you, Ilaya? Yes, Mr. Kumar, Ilaya? Yes. The answer is yes. Write to me always on my Instagram homepage. You will find the email. Click and write to me, and I will give you all the information. All right. So those first 2 years are crucial for any young designer to show how you are flexible, how you can work with this new team, what is your taste, what is your design taste, how your creativity it's articulated and used, and pushed according to the projects that you receive. How flexible you are. If a colleague will give you a critique, okay, and sometimes critiques can be very harsh or sometimes are very polite, but they in reality they mean that something else. How open are you to accept those critiques, and how good you are in listening, especially at the beginning of your career, and at the same time put in action what is needed so that you can respond, you can answer correctly with your work within that design team or for that design project. Then there is another thing that is very important that people try to understand is how interested you are of being in that company. There are some people that just work from, I don't know, from 9 o'clock to 5 or to 6 in the afternoon. They go home and that's it. There are other people that feel like they really want to, I don't know, accomplish a better sketch or a better refinement of their work. And sometimes they ask in some companies if they can stay a little bit overtime, or when it's not requested, like in other companies, you don't have to ask your boss if you can stay overtime. You just stay. There are people who go around 7, 8 o'clock in the evening. I remember when I was a young designer, me and my designers friends, the colleagues that were working with me, we were all very young at that time, and we were always working kind of late, and also many times on Saturdays. Hi, Paulucius, ciao. Welcome back. So, uh, this is something that it's very important because to be a designer is not just the fact that you are a good designer because you have a great skills, you have a beautiful portfolio, you know what I mean, an amazing portfolio, and then your creativity is on the top. It's not just that. To be a designer means that you get into a company, and a big company, of course, has a policy, philosophy, a sort of an attitude, stuff like that. So, how are you going to fit into that type of culture, philosophy? So, and what effort do you make, to make sure that you can be, that you can fit into that new family. So, this is those are some of the aspects that you have to consider the day you start working, or for those that are listening to me, watching me, they are young designers that probably they are working in their first job in a car design company. Then, of course, what happens after the first years? The company has to decide, watching you. So, what do we do with Mr. X? So, every year there is everyone with their own boss. There is a sort of evaluation of the work you do. Okay, and the work you do, it's evaluated according to objectives that your boss gave you the year before. So it's a little bit like in school. In school we got our grades, all right. We had to we had to make sure that we don't that we pass the class with good grades, unless our parents would get pissed. And at work, in a way, it's similar because there must be a way to evaluate somebody on the job to make sure that you can decide in a very honest way if you can give a raise of your income, to give you a bonus, which is many times it's money, if to give you a nice sort of a present in sending you to a conference 2 3 days somewhere. you know Try to understand. And then the most important thing is career. Because when we talk about car designers' career, we are not just talking about the fact that you are sketching. I mean, every designer sketch. I know designers that have my age are still sketching, and they don't do anything else than just sketching or helping technically young designers that made their own design. So it all depends how you want to grow inside that company. And sometimes we might have some really interesting opportunity. Nitesh Chaudhary is asking, can car designers do product design as well? My answer is yes, of course. The other way around is a little bit more complicated. So, when your boss gives you the objectives that you have to respect, you have to work on for the coming year, means that he gives you a target, that you have to take correctly with your work, and this is going to be for a whole year. Then on top of that, there is you, yourself, your character, your initiative, your capacity of being organized, or your capacity to organize other people, or to make sure that other people will be looking at you like somebody that is right, and therefore they will follow you. I don't want to say that you will be seen like a leader, but like somebody that is starting to build up a good reputation being a designer for the design field. Okay, I read in what basis are designers in team for a specific project? Okay, Paulusha, I will answer that question. But hey, guys, the questions I would like to answer to you when I'm finished. Okay, so I'm not interrupted unless what I'm saying it's not gonna pass very easily. Okay, thank you. Like maybe in 10 minutes, 15 minutes, I will be done. Okay. Then you ask me all the questions. I'll try to answer you. So we were saying, so when you have those objectives, you have a full year of work, you're working on your projects, and you have to work considering that there are some elements that have been asked by your boss to take into an account when you work. For example, I give you just a very quick example. Teamwork. Teamwork is a keyword that your boss can give you because he wants to make sure that you are not a loner. So you don't work just on your desk, separated by everybody because you like to be with yourself, like when you are at home, but that you work with a team spirit, which means with your colleagues, for the project, listening to others, proposing to others. So this aspect is very important because any global company is made of many designers, with many managers, many design directors, and managers move from one project to another, changing directors. This means what? This means that if you are a loner, nobody would like to work with you. So when your boss will fix between the objectives at the beginning of the year that you have to consider team building or working in a team, means what type of effort are you ready to make to show me that you can work in any type of team, project team? Okay, so this is like an objective. Another objective can be, I don't know, try your best to deserve to be integrated into the next concept car project team that will be, I don't know, that will be formed in 6 months. So this means that if you're working on something, you have to show that your creative level is to a certain point that then you might be chosen with a few other designers, colleagues, to be part for the project for a concept car. Or the objective is that you learn or that you participate to the technical meetings that are of support for car design activities for your project. This means that this is a new activity that you have to do. You are working on your projects, and this time you don't stay just at your desk, but when there are those technical meetings to which I participate sometimes, you have to go and with your team leader or with your design manager, you guys have to be together so that you maybe you write down the minutes of the meeting, but at the same time you are a support to your manager. And that's another way to learn, because you discover what's happening outside your design center, because everything designers do has to be shared with the rest of the company, unless the car is not made. So those are just few examples. Then what happens at the end of the year? So at the end, your boss will call you and say, okay, let's make the evaluation of the past year. And he's gonna go and check on the file what he wrote to you, what he asked you to do, plus the rest. And together you talk, okay, and you decide. I mean, he will tell you how he thinks, how he feels about your performance. You will say how you feel about your performance. And then there will be a final evaluation that will be written, approved by both, you and the boss. And that one becomes an important document that the personnel department, of course, has to keep in your file, because if one day there is an opportunity to search for designers to become, I don't know, team leaders, or to become project leaders for the design project and stuff like that, they are going to search and see which profile would be more appropriate with that type of job within the designers. And therefore, they're going to read also that document that was written by your boss, which means the evaluation that he gave to you. So when I say that, you understand right away that to be a car designer is not just go there and sketch. I think that you understood that. There are a lot of extra things that are involved in being just a car designer. Of course, you will have your computer, your working station, your music. You can listen to your music. You have your projects. You will have some meetings with the boss and everybody. It will be very nice, beautiful. That's the beautiful part of being a car designer, because you dream. You dream to be that, and you are that. So that's great. But once you are in a big company, and also a little bit in a small company, there are all other things, that you have to consider. And many times, some young people don't consider the importance of the environment, don't consider how fundamental is the way you are behaving within that environment. Because that's, whether you like it or not, it's like a family. It's like an extra family. You have a family at home, and then you have another family, which is at work. So, when we say that, we understand that our actions, okay, the way we are, the way we behave, the way we talk, the way the way we speak, low or loud, if we cry, stuff like that, and all that things, this is behavior. And that behavior counts a lot. And it counts also when you are working with other colleagues. You can say in a very polite way to somebody that you don't like the idea, or that you would like to change that idea in another way, and you make a sketch. That's fine. That's constructive. But you cannot offend somebody and say, oh, come on, that thing looks like shit. You cannot say that. And so, why? Because, first of all, because it's not polite. But second of all, because when you will be in technical meetings, in presentations, or in important meetings with the other people of the company, your boss, your director, wants to make sure that you know how to behave. Because when you are out of the design department, you are confronting yourself for your projects with other departments like engineering, product planning, marketing, electronics, stuff like that. Or when you talk with suppliers, like how many times we have meetings with suppliers. So we must know how to behave. We have to be capable to talk to them, convince them, take them on our position, negotiate, and all that stuff. And when you do all that stuff, you cannot do it with arrogance or being unpolite. Therefore, since the beginning of your career, so when you are very young and you are still far from that type of activities, managers look at you and check how good you are in your creativity, your skills, how professional you are about the 2D and 3D facts, okay, fine, activities, but they also study you about how you are with your brain. I mean, what type of brain do you have? I just want to be a car designer like you. Okay, good. Work hard. This is Mr. Fang Learn FCC SC. Okay. In what basis are designers chosen in a team for a specific project? That's the question that Policius made a few minutes ago. Let's talk about this. When we grow as designers, okay, because now it's not anymore a few months or few years we are there, automatically we start getting involved with some projects. When there is a new project, okay, completely new project, okay, there is a big competition among designers. At that time, the design team, it's not formed yet. So, Policius, this is for you. It's not formed yet. Big presentation, lots of ideas. Basically, they are ideations, okay? Brainstorming. Some are in color. Some are just black and white. Some are freehand made. Some sketches are photoshopped, whatever. Big wallpaper all over. And we check, we see. Then the design manager that already exists for that project, because the organization it's already formed at the beginning of any project, because there is a lot of activity before you start sketching, before. Then arrives the moment we have to choose, that design team must be formed. Good. Then the people that will be selected during that ideation presentation day, or maybe a second day, because sometimes we ask to do twice, okay? We select a few things and we see there are lots of good ideas. Therefore, nobody wants to decide right away. We probably like to to continue a little bit more, maybe to make sure that we really select the right ones. Then there is a selection. And when that selection is made, there will be probably 3, 4, 5 people selected. All the others go back to their projects, or maybe they will participate to a new contest, just in case there is another project starting soon. Okay, so they start working on it. And those selected are affected to the design manager, the director of that project, and therefore they move from their desk and they go to the other, let's say, room where that team has been formed. And for the next year or year and a half, they all work together. So, Paulus, I think I answered to your question. Good afternoon. That's It's Wolf von Cod. Good afternoon. I have a question. Very good. I am currently finishing a degree in design in Portugal. All right. However, my dream is to be a car designer. Which universities in Europe do you recommend? Okay, you have to search for a bachelor. Don't take master, please. Go for a bachelor in transportation design. Bachelor transportation design, you have it in Torino, Italy. IED, okay? Istituto Europeo di Design. Or IAAD University, okay? Always in Torino. Okay, those two schools are really good. Then we have that's for bachelor, okay? Master is, you have also a school in Milano, SPD, but that's only for master. Then we have Swansea University. I went to check this school that I really didn't know that well, but it's doing a fantastic program. They also work clay models. So this school is in Swansea in United Kingdom, UK. Go and search on internet, on Google. Unless in UK you have also, of course, Coventry. Then in Spain you have Instituto Europeo di Design in Barcelona. They have transportation design too, okay? And my friend Alessandro Manetti is the super VP director. So in Barcelona. You have also Pforzheim Schule in, I don't know how to pronounce this in German, but anyway, it's a very good school, one of the best in Europe, Pforzheim, in Germany. Check for that, okay? But anyway, I would say that those are the good ones. In France, we have Strat Collège à Paris, in Paris, okay? That one is also very good. Then you have also very interesting program, very well done, in Umeå University in Sweden, and you could go there too. If you want to go to United States, you can go to my school, where I went, which is Art Center College of Design in Pasadena, or CCS in Detroit, okay? Which are both universities. Okay, I think I answered to you. Okay, perfetto. So, let's go back to our discussion. Now, we are in the career, we understand that designers, they start here, and now after years they start going up. So when they are starting to be part of real design teams and working for a year and a half, giving their contribution, whether it's exterior design or interior design, of course there are some years that went by, and of course there are things that change. Some companies, after the first 2-3 years, if they move you to I would say to a beginner job, okay, junior, okay, to a designer or experienced designer level, they will change your salary. That's normal, because that's a step on the ladder of a designer's career. So that's what's happening, and all that can take you to several type of roles designers' roles within a design team or design institution, a design studio, that will bring you a different type of status, that will give you a different type of status, and also in your contract. So you have to understand that when you are in school and you wish to become a car designer, you have to think that you are not getting into a car design studio or company just because you dream to sketch all your life until you're old like me. No, there are so many things that can happen in terms of growth, and this is important for you to understand the engagement you have to put into it. Because if you put a good, honest, positive engagement that is positive for everybody, it will be very positive for you too. And therefore you can grow. And then you can go from a simple designer to a design manager, or to design director, or design studio manager. Of course, you need years, but that's normal. It's gonna happen. Everybody will work for at least 35 years, no? Or 40 in some cases. So you have to think that this career, in a way, should be a little bit planned. I don't want to say that you have to plan everything, but you have to understand that you are not just there for sketching, okay? And when you grow, when you become a little bit older in the company, like in your 30, 35, 38 years old, then you acquire a lot of experience, and you are still young. Therefore, that's probably in that age until 40, 45 is the best age to give the best you can give to the company, and also get the most from the company. And so it's a great opportunity for the project, for the company, for yourself. And this is always, because, I repeat, polite, honest relationship, professional relationship. This is really the base. If you don't have that, it's going to be kind of difficult, Somebody are writing interior exterior design, professional different. No, Maurizio, interni esterni, people can do the same, both. For example, I used to be an exterior designer at the beginning. I did few interiors, and then I went back on exteriors, and today I'm design manager of all projects, so exterior and interior, which means that I am also looking a little bit over color and trim, which means the experience you get, it gives you the opportunity to overlook and overmanage, as a manager, the whole project, not just one part. And when we find designers that are able to do exterior and interior, that's the best thing it can happen, of course. Did work for a company, Rocco Venezia, did work for a car company. I don't understand. Did you? Me? Myself? I am still working. I didn't retire yet. I'm still working since 31 years. But if you go on Google, you will discover how to get an internship. Umang, how to get an internship. Very simple. With an amazing portfolio. Okay, even if you are just a student at second year, or maybe in the middle of your school path, okay? And in general, schools help students to find internship. You can get an internship if you are a student. If you're not a student, you cannot get an internship. So you must be a student, and you make your portfolio, which is also results of the projects you made when you were in the beginning of the school, and you put this together. And if it's really well done, you can apply to companies, sending your portfolio, whether you send a link or PDF format, contacting via email. But I repeat, the school should help you, because that's a school's job. Okay, if I study industrial design, can I study transportation design for masters? Medrad Mehudi, Yes, you can, but in this case, why did you do car design at the beginning? Because industrial design, you will not sketch the same way it's required for car design. So this is clear. Any industrial design school don't teach the same type of skill development we do in car design. It's like that. It's sad, but it's like that. So because the thinking is different, and the action is different. So if I were you, I would go straight to transportation design without wasting time. Hi, Razvan. Ciao. Any car schools in North America? North America means North America. North America, USA, or in USA, in Detroit, Rocco, you have CCS at Detroit. I mean, more north than that. Okay, CCS. Okay. Now, another thing I would like to tell you about. There are still two more topics. When you become a design manager, so let's suppose you have already 15 or 10 years of experience. In Canada, I don't know, to be honest. There is a school in Toronto. I should ask my boss. There is 100%, but I don't remember the name. Sorry, but my boss is from Canada, so I will ask him. About Renault Design Studio in India, yes, I know very well. I helped to form. I gave my contribution to form that studio in Chennai. Okay, so when you become a design manager, of course, there is a big difference of being a designer. Because in general, design managers, everybody asks not to design and sketch, but to manage projects. Okay, now some of you might think, hey, Jojo, ciao, Mr. Jojo 44. He's with us, he's back. Cool. So, design manager does not have to sketch. If you see a design manager is sketching on the board, managing his projects, to be honest, it's not that very nice. But a design manager can and should say how he feels about the design proposals he sees, on the table or on the wall. A design manager that really knows that project, that knows the budget of that project, that knows the technology that project can use, knows well the market for which that project is made. The design manager has an overview, complete overview of the project, not just design, also what they are doing in engineering, what they are doing in product planning, because with product planning they are basically best friends, and with marketing too. So they all managers, they have a sort of a big overview, but the design manager more than the others. So what does it mean? That the design manager has probably more information to judge and understand if the design proposals are the right ones, go into the right direction, and therefore advise, give some tips, some suggestions to the designers, and also exchanging with the design director, who is the creative responsible for those proposals. So now you see we are in another floor here, okay? We are on another level. Before we were talking about creativity, designers, sketching, behaving well within a design team between designers. And now we are moving up a little bit and we are into the design management, which is different. Did you know ISAM school in Modena? Yes, what do you think about? Yes, I know, and I think that in my personal, this is what I think, okay? It's not good, okay? Much better to go to IED and to IAAD in Torino. Forget ISAM, because results are not very promising since 20 years. I don't know. I don't know. Sorry, I am very honest. That's what I feel. How I feel. Okay. Until today, in 31 years of career, I have only one colleague that is from that school. No one else. Okay. I think I answered. Maurizio, the software's alias for us is alias. From Nissan, no, I don't. Sorry. How do you feel about the design managing style of Chris Bangle? Not telling designers what to do, but giving the designer the most freedom possible. Yeah, Chris Bangle, I know him because he was my boss. He was my first boss. And I think that Chris is doing a fantastic job. He always did a great job. So that type of management is something that I like very much. So the most important thing you have to understand that what Chris was doing really well, at least when I was with him, is that he gives you lots of freedoms, okay? But he tells you straight on your face, be careful. I let you kill somebody as long as you know really why you are killing somebody. Because if you are making a mistake, I'm going to kill you. So this is something very important to understand how you work with Chris, okay? You work, you have your freedom, but at the same time, use your head. That's what he was basically asking. You must learn to do Alice. I don't say that you must learn, you have to learn Alias for 3D. It's important, guys, that you know Alias, that you understand how it works, and if you know how to make some volumes and shapes, it's excellent, because this will be very useful when you will be working, because in some companies, like in my company where I work for, we don't work on Alias, but we work with Alias modelers. And therefore, the fact that we know how Alias works, it gives us the opportunity to exchange really well and be very constructive, okay? People that don't know in general might get in trouble because they don't realize that if they're asking something that is feasible or not. So for any designers to know Alias, it's important, or any other software like Reno and some others. But it's important to understand, because the principle of making an Alias model, it's very important to understand how three-dimensionally a car is made and what is feasible and what is not feasible. Form and looks. How different is the bike design from car design, professional level? Policius, I'm sorry, but I'm the wrong person to answer to your question, because I never had an experience with bike design. I have some friends that had a brilliant career as a bike designers and then design managers in the bike design environment, but not me. Sorry. How do you find what you want to specialize in? Interior, exterior, I enjoy whatever I'm working on. But Pratik, Shavan, if you enjoy exterior and interior, you don't have to specialize in interior and exterior or interior. Just do both. Make a good portfolio with both, okay? And then you will see. Maybe the company is looking for an exterior designer. They will love your exterior designs, and they will discover that you know also how to do interiors. Therefore, for them, it's a jackpot, you know. So it's not. It's a fake problem. You should just concentrate in making your amazing portfolio. Who has the best car designers? Rocco. What a question. I think that today there are the big global company, okay? The global group like Renault Group, Volkswagen Group, some big Chinese groups, American groups like Stellantis now with Fiat, Chrysler, FCA, whatever. I mean, those big giants, you know, they have the budget, and therefore to get into their studios you must be really super talented, and they will choose only high talented people. So those are the group that, of course, will take on the market, school market, the best talented students. That's normal. Point of for car design, unique designs, or whoever designed DNA. I don't understand, Volkan, your question. Sorry. Okay. So I would like to complete about the design management thing. As I said before, when you get into the design management, you learn how to be in contact with a lot of people, and it's mainly for managing the project, orientating the project, making sure that you can defend that project. I mean, when I say defend that project, means the design of that project, the creativity of that project, because a lot of people like to change it to make it look, to make that project cheaper. Okay, that's the only reason, to make it cheaper. Therefore, you can have to negotiate with a lot of other people, other departments, to make sure that what you do goes into the right direction, defending design, but also helping the company to make that those details, those parts in a cheaper way. And you can do that acquiring knowledge, technical knowledge, not just creative knowledge. And that's why design managers have a bigger vision of the whole project, because they understand all the problems that a project might have or is having, and how those projects must be solved or should be solved. So when you are getting into the design management, you do several projects: interior, exterior, color and trim, suppliers, following the project when it goes to production until it goes to production, okay? Even being involved with the merchandising for the advertising campaign of that project, all that stuff. You understand that you are not just on your table sketching a part of that project, but you have a sort of a control of almost all project. So your vision is very big. The experience you gain is incredible. And this is the very beautiful part of this job, the one that at least I love. Because today, when people criticize a design or another, a car or another car, and they don't know all those things, I understand that their critiques is completely inappropriate according to the type of car, for that type of market, for that type of cost, and for that type of function within society to move from A to B. So it's all that knowledge will be very useful, because then when you are in big companies, your knowledge and your capacity of negotiating with people in a win-win situation to make sure that everybody is happy, but most of all that you are happy because you are well able to defend, the design's interest, all that stuff, it gives you on your famous evaluation end of the year file a lots of extra positive information. Every boss you change and will give you the new objectives on new tasks that are more complicated, because being a manager is of course much more complicated, okay? All those things building up during the years, what does it mean? It means that you build up such an experience that experience by the company can be used on a new mission, all right? On a new mission. So, for example, before some people was asking me about the Renault Design India. Well, there has been a period of my life recently where my ex-boss, who was also in charge of Renault Design India from France, a big boss, said, Luciano, I need some help. Okay, what do you want me to do? You have to go to India. We have a project about Chennai. What do we do? And that was interesting. So I found myself organizing the Renault Design India Academy, which was the start to find very good, talented Indian designers from India schools, okay, and not from other schools, and for India, and we did it, and that was beautiful. was such a beautiful experience that lasted a year and a half at the end. We organized this big internship. We went online, we were on Facebook, we were everywhere, not on Instagram, because at that time I did not have an Instagram account. I was only on Facebook and YouTube. But anyway, on Facebook we were making some lives. So I used all my, between quotes, my knowledge, my experience, my communicator abilities, my negotiation abilities, my creative abilities, and also being a teacher or an ex-teacher and a tutor for internships. I knew how make a proposal to my boss, or how we could have made that Renault Design Academy India a successful experience. And it was a successful experience. And of course, at the end, I managed that with other people that were helping me, other designers from Renault that were traveling with me to kind of teach, okay, to those and follow those interns and our boss until the super boss that came, of course, and for the final presentation, then presented the big model we made in one-to-one scale for a New Delhi show in 2018. Okay, so this is an example of how you start as a designer, and little by little, during the years, you grow, and then the company says, hey, we gotta do something with you different, because we need you somewhere else. Are you available? And of course, it's the moment where your career gets a different type of how can I say, a different road, which is interesting to explore, and then can take you on the other side of the world. 2 years ago, I started working for China. I'm still doing it from remote here from France, but for almost a year I was in China, living there. So we go from India, then you go to China, then you go back to, and I'm just a small example, because believe me, I know colleagues, friends, managers in other companies that they also travel, they also have missions like that. They also live in China. I met even some of my ex-students that today are managers. I met them in China because they are working for some Chinese companies. So this is very interesting. All that, it's a small community at the end. We all together, we always find Toyota, Rocco, yes, Toyota, of course, has excellent facilities and good designers. Car from scratch to prototype takes years of development, but how do you guys predict the future? Okay, so let's come to the questions, all right? Policius, when you make a running prototype, okay, that is just to show technology, and you do it with design, because you want to make sure that the design gives value to the new technology that in the future might be on our cars. Then you do a running prototype. That is an operation that sometimes is secret. Sometimes companies ask journalists to show that because they want to announce that they are ready to come out with something ultra cool. Okay. To do that, you have technologies that require some years, but the design stage of making the design, making the models, and making then the running prototype with engineers and preparing the project for the final presentation, it can take 2 years. I did several, but mine are not shown, so I cannot talk about it because they have been kept secret, all right? But basically it takes 2 years. When you do a concept car or a show car, let's talk about show car. Show car is different. Show car has a similar target, okay, objective, but is also to make sure that on the marketing point of view, the brand of the company gets a lot of visibility in a particular type of of the year, because that one is connected to projects to come in 5 years, in 3 years, in 7 years, whatever companies decide. Okay, so there is a difference between a show car objective and mission and a concept technological concept. Okay, concept running prototype. The two things have two different objectives. Get applied by a good university from high school. Medrad Mahmoudi, how old are you? Answer me, please, and I will answer to you. What high school qualification needed at university? No, Ryan, to go to university, design university, the only thing you need to have, you must have your diploma of high school, whatever. The most important thing is that you know how to sketch, that you sketch, that you have a strong passion for car design, that really you dream strongly that you want to become a professional car designer, and then you choose the right school and you show your entry portfolio or your sketches. You are 18 years old, okay. So what's your problem? You don't have any problem. You just go to a high school. Scusa, you just go to university. You choose your design university. All right, if you want to be a car designer. Remember, guys, if you want to be a car designer, you have to choose a bachelor program, okay? 3 years minimum or 4 years in any design school, but take bachelor, okay? Currently pursuing a master in industrial design engineering and a master in mechanical engineering. Expect that such expertise value for a car design as well. Tim, to be honest, no, I didn't do any master in engineering. I didn't know anything about engineering. Today I know a lot more than some engineers because I had experience, because I'm curious. But what I did, I spent my years in school to become a good designer, going to school and spending almost 4 years, full years, for a bachelor program in transportation design. Engineering, it doesn't have anything to do with car design. I'm sorry, but that's the truth. I'm saying this since years, but people don't believe me. The transportation master, it's only 1 year. They will give you probably 2 years, when 1 year is to sketch a little bit so that you exercise, and 1 year is the real master. But you will be an engineer that pretends to be designer, and you will not be a real designer unless you are a really talented designer that went to engineering. Okay, you understand what I mean? What car you love the most making design it? Well, I have 2 cars that I made. The first one, it's my first love because it's a Fiat. It's I write to you here because so you can see it. Okay, so just give me 1 minute, okay, so I can show you the car I made, which is this one. If you okay, wait, I made a mistake. Okay, I get the picture. Okay, this is the car, the first car I made. Of course, always with designers. I had young designers with me. I was but the main designer for the exterior was me, and I was also the design manager. And then the other one, for which I have been a design manager, which I really love, okay, is the Twizy, that maybe many of you know, okay, which is this one. I don't know if I can do that. Let me see. No, I can't. Anyway, the Renault Twizy. Okay, but I was also on Renault Kangoo 2. This is also another project of mine. And then recently I've been working on the Chinese. Okay, and I can show you what I did for the Chinese because I have the pictures here. I have the link from my blog, from my website, which is this one. And here you can find all the sketches. You can find all the sketches. This is the latest one I worked on as a manager, design manager. Okay. Okay, it's Wolf on Code. Yes, you have to take a bachelor. You are 20 years old. You are young enough to take a bachelor because it's going to last 3 years. Even if you finish at 24 years old, you are still fine to get a job. Don't worry. No. You are fine. Do you think my age will affect my possibility? No, not at all. All those schools I listed before, they just take anybody that is 18 years old and finished high school. So don't worry. I crashed yesterday with my Kangoo. Oh, sorry, Sadek. I'm sorry, but I hope that it was strong enough, to protect you. Okay. Yeah, the Renault 5 is perfect. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. What we're doing is beautiful. My colleagues are doing an excellent job. The whole team. Is the automotive design in Africa? I don't think so. I'm sorry. I don't think so. No. What do you think is the scope of urban mobility in the future? But this is another topic. I cannot talk about that unless we're going to stay for other 2 hours, and I don't have the time. But anyway, I hope that what we talked today about was interesting to you. Next Friday, I will give you another topic. We'll talk a little bit about... always, of course, about the design, but we will talk more about portfolio, okay? So next week, next Friday, expect to talk about portfolios, okay? And we will talk more about portfolio, entry portfolio to get a job and stuff like that. So we will look into that a little bit more. And then, of course, I will be answering to your questions, as always. So let me read just the few latest ones. Is there an automotive design? Okay, what do you think about the cars made by Abarth? They are beautiful, of course. Yes, protected as we are fine. Yes, protected. Okay, good. I'm happy you said it, that you and the people who were with you did not get hurt. Are small cars the future? Small cars are a part of the future mobility, but a part, not everything. Thank you, sir. You're welcome, Ryan. At the same time, how Gilles Ridal can to Renault from Peugeot? I'm really wondering into this topic. Sorry, we cannot talk about that. But Gilles is good. It's very good. Can we go to car manufacturer side after mechanical engineering? To car manufacturer side. I have no idea, Ashmit. I'm sorry. You have to ask to an engineer this. Sir, which company provide education sponsorship? That's a little bit difficult. To be honest, Raul, very difficult. But design schools have scholarships, which means they sponsor a part, of your school tuition. So if you are a good talent, they might even pay a part of your tuition. What do you think about the real light bar trend? Very interesting. Everything is led and new light technology is fantastic. It's helping designers and design to be much more creative than before. You're welcome. Okay, so guys, that's it. We finished, all right? We were together for about 2 hours. I think that this was quite interesting, I hope. And I had lots of fun with you. Thank you very much. You can check this video again starting tomorrow, because it will be fully recorded and published on my channel. If you are not a subscriber, you have to subscribe. And just in case you want to check my ebook about sketching, go to www.lulu.com and look for my ebooks, okay? I'll write to you here, okay? So you can buy my my ebook about sketching tutorials. There is everything there. They are really cheap so that everybody can afford it, okay? It's very easy. It's in PDF. You just download it immediately. It's on your PC. And you can go and check everything you need, everything you need to help you on your sketching, all right? Okay. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Have a very good weekend, okay? And see you next week. Don't forget, Tuesday, we have our live here, sketching together, all right? And Fridays, Design Talk. Bye. Ciao.